The world's very best poker players once again descend on London as we bring you Season 3 of the $1 Million Cash Game. Aggressive, unpredictable and a great reader of his opponents, Patrick Antonius has amassed winnings of almost $3 million and will be looking to make good after that huge loss to Phil Ivey in Season 2. Andy the Rock Block makes a welcome return to the $1 Million Cash Game and has one of the sharpest brains in poker. He was also part of the infamous MIT Blackjack team. Mike the Mouth Mattisau is certainly that. The most outspoken and volatile player at any table. He will certainly turn up the heat at this one. He had an explosive Season 1 and has a point to prove. Frenchman David Benjamin is a new face at the $1 Million Cash Game, and the former tennis pro is sure to be looking to improve on his already impressive poker record. Better known as Durr, Tom Dwan is an online poker prodigy, still relatively new to live poker. Tom will have his hands full as he sits amongst some of the toughest opposition ever assembled. Phil Hellmuth may have the best CV in poker history, but he joins the $1 Million Cash Game for the very first time. Known as the Poker Brat, sparks are sure to fly with him at the table. Phil Ivey took down a record $800,000 pot in Season 2. Regarded by many as the best player in the world, he'll be a quiet colossus at the table and is no doubt the one to beat. Former world champion Chris Jesus Ferguson is the tightest player in the field. He's fiercely analytical, and if he's in a hand, he's usually in with a strong chance of taking it down.
Hello and welcome to the FullTiltPoker.com $1 Million Cash Game. We're in the heart of London for the largest cash game to be televised anywhere in Europe. And as a result, the best of the best have made their way here to battle it out to try and become Season 3 champion. High stakes and big pots guaranteed as we hand you over to your commentators Gary Jones and David Tuckman.
It has been absolutely fantastic action here.
1,200 to play.
And right now, of course, the action on Tom Dwan.
Cool.
Raising it up, first position with ace-10 of diamonds. You wouldn't catch the man on the right of the picture doing that.
Cool.
Not very often. Chris Ferguson will be caught in that kind of a spot. But he's called the 4,000 and he's actually got the a suited ace-10 himself.
28.
Action over to our big winner so far, David Benjamin.
Is he pretending to count out a big re-raise, or is he actually going to do it? Well, he's got ace-queen.
Raise 25,000.
And he's re-raised this.
Looks a bit like a squeeze play, but he's raised it 25,000 more to the other players. That's a very big re-raise. He's just got these chips.
Is he trying to make it look like a squeeze play, or does he just not want to play ace-queen out of position?
Quite possibly it. He just doesn't want to... Because once one player calls, he's probably going to bring in the whole lot. The pot would be huge.
It's tough to play a hand like that out of position.
Exactly. The thing about Tom Dwan is he's used to playing real marginal weak hands. He finally picks up a half-decent hand in ace-10. He doesn't want to let it go.
Well, we've seen him make big laydowns. We saw him lay down pocket queens pre-flop.
That wasn't against his nemesis, David Benjamin, though.
Correct. Now, is there an ego thing involved here? Now, Benjamin has gotten the best of Dwan. Does Dwan want to get back in there? And look at this. It looks like a re-raise.
Looks like a big re-raise.
And this table better watch out. The 22-year-old internet monster has
62,000.
risen.
Excuse me, 70.
Well, I can't imagine Chris Ferguson
700.
He's going to call that.
And it's 72,000.
It was 72,000 total. I think it's another 57,000 to David Benjamin, who lays down his ace-queen, so the ace-10 gets through. Good re-raise there from Tom Dwan. He picks up a lovely pot, and he is rolling.
Major. I think we should all randomly redraw.
And we've been talking about Dwan and his ability to adjust to his opponents. And how are his opponents adjusting to Dwan?
Well, an awful lot of the players around this table are used to being the one dominating. People like Phil Ivey, David Benjamin, they're used to controlling the game, manoeuvring their opponents.
Just one limp.
So it's very hard for them to actually adjust their game to Tom. If they play a pot against him, they have to be prepared to stick an awful lot of chips in, because he's prepared to make some very, very large plays.
Fold.
Well, a raise on the button for Benjamin with the threes. Action over to Phil Ivey. And I'm sure he's going to play this. Just a question of how he does.
I'm pretty sure he's going to play it too.
So that's why I get paid the big bucks. And he is going to re-raise this.
I'm pretty sure it's not enough to get rid of David, especially considering between them how much money they've got. There's over $1.5 million spread between these two players. If a 3 comes, we could have a very big pot. And if an ace comes as well, we could have a huge pot.
Well, the interesting thing is that Benjamin bets on the button. And it almost looks like Ivy is just re-stealing because he doesn't respect. But obviously he's got the goods. He's got the 2 red aces. American Airlines, we can call it.
Here comes the flop.
Well, not a good flop for 3s.
Not a good flop for 3s. Not the best of flop for aces, but I don't think it's going to stop Phil from staying involved in this pot.
And you can see the percentages there. They don't really mean much, though. As you said, that actually is a pretty scary flop for 2 red aces.
Check.
Check.
Ace.
Well,
He does put 4 cards to a straight out there.
Check.
Ivy's got a set of aces, but does he like it?
5.
And now the flush is out there as well.
Needed that to be a 3, really. He's checked it all the way to David Benjamin.
Well, I think the best way to play it, isn't it? Check it and just call.
Limp and raise and check all the way on that flop. You have 2 9s.
I think he's laying a trap for you, David.
Pot is $25,000.
I think if he hadn't have actually said that out loud, he could have got away with the bluff. But once he's announced it, it's almost killed.
But if you put your opponent on 9s, why would you bet here? Because you know he can't call.
2 days. Yours ain't bad though, Phil. Or Phil.
Benjamin thinking, can I represent the spades? Can I represent the jack? Well, he's going to try.
Forget limping. I'm going to raise, I'm going to get re-raise. I'm going to limp, I'm going to get raise.
And he bets 13,000. And I think it's an easy call for Phil Ivey, isn't it?
It certainly is. I think he's actually announced call.
3 high.
Trip aces.
And Phil Ivey, he played it perfectly, didn't he?
He certainly did. I don't think he's ever going to get a caller from a weak hand there. He knows that David can't help himself in a spot like that.
I had a bet, right?
He's upset because he would have finally.
What?
He's upset he would have beat your 3 aces.
I don't believe he can
I
play.
flopped a straight. I was finally going to win a hand, and he had to raise with 3 high.
Yeah, I raised with 3 high. 3's high.
Look, dealer, just do me a favor. Just every time somebody shows 1 card, just show both cards. That way I don't have to ask. I don't want to ask, but that's the rule these days. So.
Phil's just running his mouth. He wasn't even in the pot.
Just in case he has 2 9s. I should have bet 5. I didn't even need to bet 13. 5 was enough.
We're at the Full Tilt Poker.net.